Hi everyone, I'm Daniel, and today I'll be taking a look at the AmpliFi Mesh Network System from Ubiquiti. This device is an alternative to your standard wireless router, theoretically providing a better signal across a larger area. Now real quick, what is a mesh network? Well, your standard home router is a single device that plugs into your cable modem and sends out a wireless signal from that single point. With a mesh network, you place multiple devices within the space to expand the area of coverage and provide a much stronger signal. The AmpliFi system, which comes in a very nice box, includes a router that still plugs into your cable modem, as well as two mesh points that simply plug into an electrical outlet. The router is a very elegant white cube with a matte finish. It's powered by a micro USB cable, has 4 LAN outputs, as well as one standard USB port, which has no functionality at the moment. On the front face is a circular touchscreen, which I'm a big fan of. You can cycle through things such as current network usage, port status, and time and date. You'll even be notified of and can install updates from the screen. And emanating from the base is a diffused white light. Don't worry, the brightness of both can be controlled in the AmpliFi app. More on that in a bit. The two mesh points simply plug into any electrical outlet, and the entire antenna portion can be adjusted for better signal strength. Now if you're looking at this and thinking your kiddos are going to immediately yank it out of the wall, don't fret too much. The pivot point is actually a magnetic connection, so the entire antenna can be detached and reattached at any time. There are also 5 small lights that will show you the connection strength of the mesh point to the router. To set up the AmpliFi system, you must first download the AmpliFi app, which is available for iOS and Android devices. The app will walk you through the setup process, the ease of which might be hit or miss. I didn't have any problems when setting up my first time, but I had to RMA my first device, and when setting up the replacement, my phone lost connection and I had to manually connect to the router before being able to continue. From the app, you'll be able to see the status of the AmpliFi system, monitor network access, and change some basic settings such as what channel your signals are operating on. The most advanced thing you'll be able to do is port forwarding. Like other mesh network systems, simplicity is the name of the game here. So, how does the AmpliFi perform? Well, I live in a house that's about 3,000 square feet, including a second story. Previously, I was using a fairly decent ASUS router. The signal from it was good in all but 2 areas. The master bedroom, which is on the other side of the kitchen with lots of big appliances, and the back half of the upstairs room, which had such a bad signal it wasn't even possible to stream video. And in fact, the Wi-Fi signal constantly dropped in the master bedroom. With the AmpliFi, I placed the router in the same location as that's where my cable modem is located. I placed one mesh node near the kitchen and the other upstairs. Signal quality is hit or miss. With a 60 megabit connection, the 5 GHz signal was now around its maximum throughout the entire house. I can even get a usable signal on my driveway now. However, signal quality on the 2.4 GHz band has been appalling. I've had significant issues using my ThinkPad T420 with the AmpliFi. Download speeds are never more than 2/3 of my maximum. Furthermore, the connection often drops to a level of quality that's practically unusable. At first, I thought this was a result of the backbone, which would have made sense. You see, the pieces of a mesh network have to communicate with one another, and that requires a Wi-Fi signal. Unfortunately, the AmpliFi doesn't have a dedicated frequency for the backbone. You have the choice of using either the 2.4 GHz or the 5 GHz band. These are the same ones that your devices use, and the band being used as the backbone can negatively impact speeds for anything also using that band. But when I changed the backbone to the 5 GHz band, I was still experiencing the same 1/3 loss of signal speed on the 2.4 GHz band. Clearly, there's some sort of problem with the 2.4 GHz band on the AmpliFi. Even when using the router steering feature, which forces devices to connect to the main router when still in range, I had the same problem. With the plug it in and forget about it aspect being a core tenet of this product, the problems I've experienced are unacceptable. Before I wrap up, I'll note that it's possible to place the mesh nodes in a straight line, and so the furthest one rebroadcasts the signal of the first. However, there's no way to manually configure this arrangement. The AmpliFi automatically configures itself as it best sees fit. I was unable to force this arrangement for testing. Also, the low-end model of the AmpliFi that I have here only supports the 802.11n standard for some reason. The more expensive AmpliFi systems have support for the newer AC standard. So, Ubiquiti made a great looking device, and small touches like the night mode that turns off all the lights during configurable hours is something I really appreciate. That being said, after using the AmpliFi for a few months now, it doesn't even come close to being worth it. At $200, this is the cheapest mesh system by at least $100. But it's also about a $100 premium over a really good router. And for some people, that's likely all they need to upgrade their router. There are consumer mesh systems that work well, like the Netgear Orbi. Even the high-end AmpliFi has reviewed well. But this base model feels like a half-baked product that was made in an attempt to enter a lower price bracket. That's it for me. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to subscribe to see more videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.